Hello everybody, hope everybody's having a great day. Today I'm going to be showing everybody how to bring the Flight Factor 777 V2 from a cold and dark stage all the way to engines running, and a small little overview of the FMC. Let's get into the cockpit. I like to keep this short and right to the point, so let's jump up into the flight deck here. We're going to be working on the overhead panel and the center pedestal and a little bit of the FMC. I already have the GPUs connected, so all we have to do is come up to the overhead panel. Once you're on the overhead panel, we're going to be looking for the electric. It's split up via electrics, hydraulics, fuel, engine starts, and air conditioning and pressurization. We're going to come up here and we're going to be starting at the electrical panel. First thing we're going to do is press in the battery. That's going to supply power to the aircraft from the batteries, and now we're going to connect the secondary and the primary external power. That's going to bring everything to life in the cockpit here. Next thing, we're going to go ahead and press everything that basically says off. So we're going to come here, we're going to click those, we're going to click on these. This is your IDEAs for your IRSs. Arm the emergency exit lights, come down, turn on the window heats. Right and left engine hydraulic pumps. No smoke signs come on. Seatbelts can come on. We're going to come over. We're going to go nav lights. Anti-ice, we'll keep them off for now. Come up here, we're good there. Come up here, good. We're going to go over now. We're going to come down. Gaspers and humidifiers. Not humidifiers, restrictors. We'll put that to auto. And we'll push in the packs and the trim air. And all of these here. That is now the overhead panel mostly. Now we'll go down to the center pedestal. We're going to turn on the radios. And we are going to wait for the radios and stuff to come to life here. While we're waiting for that, I'll go over a little bit of how to load the airplane here. It's pretty easy. You have multiple different ways to load the airplane. You have simplified loading, which when you enable it, you can grab it from SimBrief. But I'm going to show you guys the other way. It's going to be airplane and weight and balance here. So in here, this is where you can set your passenger load. So you set your crew members, first, business, and economy. And that will fill up all the way there. So that's your passengers. Next down is your cargo load. Do your cargo load using the scroll wheel. You can also click and you can type. You have your fuel load. Again, here you can use your scroll wheel or click and type. Next, you have your CG summary. So once you load the aircraft with what you want, you can hit your CG optimize. You can hit optimize CG, and that will move everything around so that your CG is right where it should be. You have your load page. As soon as you connect communication with ground crew, this page will come to use. I'll show you guys that here in a second once the radio's alive. And that's all the pages there. Next, I'm going to show you guys the ground services, your ground service page. We have our GPUs connected, chocks, and gate. You have options for your loader, fuel truck, gear service, hydraulics, and anti-ice. As you see now, we have our screens all lit up here. And if you're new to flight simming and stuff, or like, I don't know, new to commercial aviation, you're going to notice that the screens are blank. That is normal. There was one user that was confused about that. There's probably a few other errors out there. But that is very normal on airliners here. That's due to the IRSs, which we've pushed that switch in, so it's aligning now. As you see here, it says time to align, and it starts counting down. Now that our radios are live here, we can press on these, and that'll make sure that we're listening. And this is where the third CDU comes into use here. So we'll call up the purser.
Hello, this is the captain speaking.
Hello, sir.
Now that we have the attention of the purser, you can request stuff through here. I prefer to just use the EFB here. So I'm going to go ahead and ask her to close some doors real quick. We're going to go to doors here. So I'm going to ask her to close 4
Please
left
close the door.
and 5 right,
Undoubtedly.
as we don't have a use for them to be open right now. I'm going to jump back down here, and I'm going to request the ground crew. So I'm going to press this comm button and hit ground crew.
Good day. How do you hear?
Good day, sir.
We've now established communication with the ground crew. Again, just like the flight attendant, you can go ahead and request stuff through the third CDU, but just for the ease of the video and just simpler, we're going to go ahead and use the EFB here. I'm going to ask them to close
We
the
need that hatch closed.
avionics bay,
Sure.
and we're going to go ahead and request some equipment here. We're going to go to ground service, and we're going to request front loader, aft
We are
loader,
in need of some
transporter,
equipment.
fuel trucks,
Which one?
Forward
and
carriage loader.
that should be it here.
Roger.
So now that ground crew equipment will show up, and I'll just let's have a little look here. And as you see now, we have our loaders and fuel truck. We'll jump back up into the cockpit, and while we're out here, we can just request the jetway. Now that that is there, as you may see, if we go to our weight and balance and loading page, we have the option to load stuff. Not going to do this right now, but all you're going to do is hit the load button, and it's going to start loading everything. But for now, I'm just going to do a simplified load, so that I can show you all how this works here.
Sir, they brought a new load sheet.
So once the loading is complete, if you're doing simplified or real-time loading, you're going to get this paper in the center. This is your load sheet. You can click right here, and that will move your paper up here. You can click here again, and it'll move it here. And then you can click here to rotate it. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and punch in a small flight plan. We're going to click right here on this top thing here. That'll pop the FMC up. You can use it the way it is, but I'm just going to do this just for the ease of the video. We're going to go ahead and FMC. And this is going to bring you to your ident page here. So it's going to tell us our engines and our active AIRAC. We're going to go to position init. This is the aircraft's position. So we're going to type in our current airport, which is KJFK. We're going to insert that into our ref airport. That's going to pop up our position. I'm just going to grab this one. You could grab this one too, but it's kind of up to you which one you want. So I'm just going to grab the airport's position and put it in there. We're going to proceed to the route page. We're going to put in our origin. Our departure airport today is KJFK. You put whichever one you are departing from. Our arrival airport today is Charlotte, KCLT. We're going to pop Charlotte in there as destination. Our flight number is goes in there. Now that is in, we can go to our departure and arrival page. We'll click departure, and we'll just say we're departing 22 right today by the JFK 5 departure. Route, activate, execute. And as you see now, it has loaded the departure. This departure is, I think, just radar vectors, so you're not really going to have much on there. But you'll be able to start seeing the flight plan get built from there. We're going to go ahead and do next page, and we're going to put in a position. We're just going to pick the Gordonsville VOR, and we're going to execute that. Then you can just type in the rest of your flight plan into here. So here's where you're going to put in your airways. So like Quebec 47, and then, you know, Gulf Victor Echo, whatever it would be there. So you'd put in like the airway over here, and then the 2 point over here. Next thing, we're going to add our arrival airport, which we already have here. We have Charlotte here, and we're going to say we're going to be arriving via Let's just pick anyone here. It doesn't really matter. And let's say we're arriving via 36 Center. We can execute that. Probably an awful arrival airport. Excuse me, an awful arrival here. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But as you see there, we have the arrival loaded up in there. We're actually not going to be flying this today. That'll come in a later video. I'll show the use of the autopilot and stuff. But we're going to pretend that the flight plan is fully loaded there, and I'm going to move on to the next steps. So we're going to go to our init ref page, and we're going to grab some numbers here. We're looking for our 0 fuel weight, which is 359.0. We're going to type that into the scratch pad, and we're going to place it right here. Our reserve today, we're just going to say it's 10. We're going to place our reserve in there. Our cruise altitude, we're going to be going up to 390 at a cost index of 132. Now we can go to our thrust limit. I'm not going to show use of the performance calculator as there is a few bugs in it. So we'll skip it for now, but you can choose a D rate. So we'll just choose D rate 1 with a climb D rate of 1. We can proceed to the takeoff page here, and let's say we want to depart with flaps 5. I'll put 5 into the scratch pad and place it at flaps. Now we're going to grab our CG. Our CG is 27.8. We're just going to round it up. I just typed into the scratch pad, and now we'll hit our CG here. That gives us our trim we should be using, which is going to be 5.0. Now, as you may notice, it has given us some V-speeds. All we got to do is click on them. We got 138, 145, and 154. We have that now all loaded successfully. Now, I'm just going to... Usually you would wait for this to align, but just for the sake of the video, we're going to go ahead and quick align the IRS. I'll be back once I do that. Alright guys, I am back. IRS is now aligned. I just did a quick align there. Had to find it though. Now that the IRS is aligned, you may notice that our screens are fully filled in. We have our artificial horizon, and we have our ND map here. So our PFD and our ND, everything here is set. All we're going to do is arm the flight directors, pre-arm LNAV and VNAV, depending on your departure you are flying today. Next up, we're going to go up to the overhead panel, and we're going to fire up the APU. And while that is firing, we can check the status of that by going to the status page on your center ECAS. While that's going there, we're going to go ahead and come down to our EFB. We're going to go to airplane and doors. We're going to go ahead and close all the doors.
Please close this door.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain and crew would like to welcome you on board this Boeing 777 airliner.
Right.
We ask that you please fasten your seatbelts
now
at
we're
this
going to go ahead and go to
time
ground
secure all
service.
baggage underneath your seat or in
We're going to
the
make sure that the
overhead
parking brake
compartment.
is set, and I'm going to
Also ask that your
pressurize
seats
those
and table
hydraulics.
trays are in the upright position for takeoff.
Gonna go ahead and
Please
remove
turn
the
off
chocks,
all personal electronic devices, including laptops and cell phones.
and I can get rid of the
Smoking is
loaders.
prohibited for the duration of the flight. Thank you for choosing Flight Factor. All right.
And that has gotten rid of the loaders and stuff. Now I'm just gonna verify that the door was shut. She was in the middle of the announcement. Okay, she's shut all the doors. I can remove the jetway. Now that jetway is gone, we're just waiting for the APU. The way you know that the APU is on, you'll see this off flight when you press it on. That is connecting your APU gen. You see how that will remove the secondary external power. So now it says that the external power is available. So now I know that we are on the generator. I'll go ahead and disconnect the primary, and I'll ask ground crew to remove it. Ground service, right and left GPU.
I am here.
Please disconnect the primary GPU.
Yes, sir.
There we go. That GPU is now removed from the aircraft, and we are ready for pushback. One thing we're going to do, though, is we still have some ground crew. So I'm going to ask him to remove the ground crew by coming back here and going to ground crew.
I am here.
I'm going to scroll over the last page, and we're going to click this button here.
All personnel, please clear the area.
No problem. All clear.
Alright, I'm gonna call for the pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Now we're just waiting for the tow to show up. While we're waiting, we can fire on the beacon light, and I can pressurize the rest of the hydraulics. At this time, we can go ahead and secure the flight deck. We'll put that into auto, which will lock the flight deck door. And currently, we're not on any network, so we'll just keep the transponder on 0, but we will go ahead and switch it to Terra. And we'll go ahead and configure the fuel as we're going to be pushing back here in a second. So, we're going to turn on the left pumps here. You can just turn these on if you have fuel in the center tanks.
Okay. All
Just press
doors
these
and
buttons
hatches
here.
are closed. Ready to connect.
And you can see your current fuel situation right here. So we have 18.9 in the center, so I just flipped on the center tanks. We're going to go to the engine page now. They're currently connecting the aircraft.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alright, we're going to come down here and we're going to flip the parking brake off.
Starting pushback. And you may start engines.
Alright, this is the nice thing on the 777. When we start the engine, we literally just flip the fuel lever switches straight up, and the system will deal with
See
injecting
you
the
next
fuel
time.
when needed.
Much appreciated.
So we got the beacon light on, and we're going to check that we're clear on the right. We're clear on the right. And we're going to fire up engine 2. We're going to come up here. Here's your engine. And here's your starters. We're going to flip the right engine to start. That's going to automatically kick off the packs. And we can immediately flip the right fuel. So we're looking here, we got our N2 rising, N1, EGT is now coming up here. And it's going to drop back for a second. And then it will stabilize.
Operation complete.
There it is.
Go ahead and set the parking brake.
We'll set the parking brake. We got a good engine start.
Stand by.
Ignition's off. We can go ahead and start left.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Okay, we now have a good engine start there. Starter is off. Got 2 good engines. Now we can come up to the overhead panel and we can turn off the APU. Now at this time I'm going to go ahead and set our anti-ice to auto. We're going to come down to the center pedestal. We're going to set flaps to 5. I think, yeah, 5. That's what we have set. Flaps are set to 5. We can set the auto brakes to RTO. And we can set the trim, which I don't have my yoke out right now, so let's see. It's supposed to be set to 5, so let's see. There we go. Trim is now set to 5. And flaps are set. At this time, you could taxi out the airplane and proceed to the runway and depart. I hope this video was helpful for somebody out there. And hope you guys enjoy this airplane. It is a beauty to fly, and it's been a long wait, but was definitely worth the wait. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.